What's up, everybody? I'm back, and I'm going to cover a fight that nobody's talking about. I think it's getting overshadowed by the UFC fight, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. But we have a run back, a rematch. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Man, what a banger of a fight we had the first fight earlier on in the year. Conor Benn coming up from 147 to 160 to face Eubank Jr. at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And it turned out to be one of the best fights, not only of the year, but one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. These two guys took the mantle from their fathers. Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn, these two guys are the sons of both those legendary fighters. And all the people I've talked to from England, all my friends from England, their parents, shout out Pam, shout out Alan Conway. Man, they say when they were growing up in the 90s, that when Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn fought, all of England stood still. All of England stood still to watch these two guys go to war. And these two kids, the kids of these two legends, Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn, took their place in history and went to absolute war. Absolute war. I mean, I have to be honest. It was probably one of the greatest fights I've seen since Mickey Ward, Arturo Gatti. I'm not bullshitting. I love boxing. I've seen great fights. I saw the trilogy of Marquez or Morales Barrera. I saw the 4 fights between Israel Vasquez and Marquez, Juan Manuel Marquez's young brother, Rafael Marquez. Those are great fights. But, man, this fight was a banger. It was up there with the best. It was up there with the best of them. They went to absolute war. It was a close fight. I could have saw it a draw. I thought Conor Benn landed the bigger shots. But Eubank Jr. surged late. He's older. He's a crafty veteran. He found a way to win. I wasn't upset with the decision, but they're going to run it back again. And I cannot wait. Right now, as far as the betting lines are, Eubank Jr. is minus 138. He's the favorite. Conor Benn, plus 150. KO for Eubank Jr. is plus 190. KO for Conor Benn is plus 330. Decision for Conor Benn is plus 400. And decision for Eubank Jr. is plus 120. The betting odds is telling you everything you need to know. They think this is going to be a banger just like the first one. I don't know if it will be. I think it's going to be a great fight. But Conor Benn was super emotional in that first fight. He was coming off a 1.5 years or more suspension, on the accusations of steroid use. He was cleared of all charges, but don't forget, Eubank Jr. was jabbing him the whole time, calling him a cheater, calling him, that he didn't deserve to be in the ring with him because he was a cheat. Conor Benn was cleared of all charges, but Eubank Jr., I ain't going to say I like him. I loved his father. I loved his dad. I loved the persona, the fucking, everything. The way he'd walk out to the ring, the Tina Turner, simply the best. Nobody can beat that. That was just iconic. You're simply the best. Bro, you can't beat that. That was great. And then when he came out, showed up with that goddamn lion, leopard skin, whatever jacket he had when walked the sun out to the ring. Bro, that is the beautiful thing about boxing, man. And that was just awesome to watch. Conor Benn had a good walkout, but it could never beat Eubank Jr.'s walkout with his pops. It was incredible. But this fight is not that fight. I think if Conor Benn can stay true to his game, his father and his corner were pleading to him the last fight, the first fight. Calm down. Calm down. Work off your jab. Just box. Do better. But he was so emotionally charged that he couldn't help himself. Conor Benn was out for blood. He was trying to knock fucking Eubank Jr.'s head off from the very first round to the last round. He got hurt. He got caught a few times in that fight. But, man, Conor Benn, if he settles into 160, and I truly think he's going to go back to 154. That's where the money's at. But if he can settle in, get the weight down, and fight the fight he needs to fight, he has a good chance because Eubank Jr. is getting older. He is slowing down. He went to the hospital after the last fight. He ain't used to being in wars like that. And Conor Benn will take you to war. He's younger. He's more fit. He looked more fit in the last fight. And he's hungry. He is so hungry. He was out for so long. He's trying to make up for that lost time. So, this is going to be an amazing fight. I don't know if it's going to be the banger that it was the first fight, but I think when push comes to shove, this fight's going to get ugly, and they're going to go to absolute war. Fuck, man, this fight is so hard to pick because the betting odds-wise, I want to go Conor Benn. But if you guys have been following me for a while, when I did the what's next for Canelo wants destination fights. He's got 2 fights left on Riyadh season contract. I think he wants to go to Japan, and I think he really wants to go to England at Wembley. If Conor Benn wins, he's too small. He's a 147er going up to 60. Even if he settles in, he's probably a natural 54. I don't think he can make the weight jump to 68. I think it'd be a lopsided fight versus him and Canelo. But if Eubank Jr. can win at 160, which this fight is going to take place, 8 pounds to him is nothing because I know he cuts a lot of weight. Like, he missed the rehydration clause in the first fight and gave up 500,000 pounds. So, I want Conor Benn to win. But I want Eubank Jr. to win as well because I want to see him. Honestly, I really don't even care if it's him. I just want to see England, the English fans, the great boxing English fans, to witness Canelo firsthand. I want them to see Canelo versus Eubank Jr. at Wembley fucking Stadium. Sellout crowd. Absolutely madness there. I would be there. If they made that fight, I'd be on the fucking first goddamn plane across the Atlantic into fucking Heathrow at London and be there to watch Canelo versus Eubank Jr. I would be there. Me and my brother would be there. And I'm pretty sure I'm taking my boy Joe Conway with me, and I'm calling his parents, Pam, Alan, and they're going to meet us down in Wembley, and we're going to have a great time in London. But this fight is going to be huge. It's the rematch. It's the 4th fight between the Eubank Benn family. Wow. Incredible. You can't write this shit. You can't even make this shit up. You can put writers in a room and they can't write how good this is going to be. This is absolutely spectacular. This is what boxing is about. I love it. I'm so hyped for this weekend. Not only do we have a great UFC card, we have this banger card right here. Fucking England on England. Man, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is going to be rocking. Eubank Jr., Conor Benn. I can't wait. I want Conor Benn to win. I like his style. I like the way he moves. But Eubank Jr. showed that he's undeniable. So we're going to see how it plays out on Saturday. Like I said, Eubank Jr. is minus 138. Conor Benn's plus 150. If you're a betting man like I am, I'm going Conor Benn. But it's not going to take away from what the greatness of this fight can be. I can't wait. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Share it with everybody that you know that loves boxing and MMA. See you on the next one. Peace!